Here's something I'm totally psyched about, and you might have not have read it, so it's going to be a little bit difficult, with this whole, geeks rambling through voice notes if you, because we might be rambling and you might actually have no idea what I'm talking about. But since there's no like do-overs or skip-overs, sometimes we do make mistakes. So I'm gonna try and keep this one short because there's like 40 issues that are gonna come out. I mean, the last one's gonna be the 40th issue, but not the game, but the comic book Injustice Gods Among Us. I am so into that stupid comic book, and I know that it's like a completely separate world. Nothing that happens in there will ever happen in a TV show, movie, anime flick. They just wouldn't do it. That's why it has to be a video game. It's too violent. It's too bloody. But I think it's an awesome read, and I totally recommend it, because that's when you get to see it, and you see the Justice League through maybe a different lens. What happens if Superman is not all good? What happens? I love everything about it, and the people who piss me off, I know, are there to piss me off. They're there to bother me. It bothers me, Cyborg's blind following. It bothers me that Wonder Woman is so, not power hungry. Like she loves Clark, but she's so, all she does is think about violence. God damn it, And Green Lantern goes back and forth, and then he's Yellow Lantern, and then he's with Sinestro, he's not with Sinestro, he has an idea, he's not have an idea. Flash is super smart, and he's kind of probably gonna be the game changer, but he's so smart that he sees all the different steps that you can do, and still realizes that what Superman is doing, he considers it to be okay, but it's complete tyranny. And Batman is so focused on his everything being justice, never killing anybody, that he just doesn't get it. But I love the twist of having the Joker fucking blow up Metropolis, kill Lois Lane, and Clark and Superman's unborn child, which he just found out he had, and he just named Batman Godfather. That's all issue 1, so I'm not really destroying anything if you haven't read it. That's amazing. And everything that happens from then on in, the idea of how they've been able to put every single DC comic book character that you could possibly think of, people that you're I can't believe that guy is still around. That's ridiculous that they brought this guy in. Oh, holy mother, they just killed that guy. And that they're bringing, and it's not centered on one specific baddie, but it's all the baddies put together, all the heroes put together, all the anti-heroes are there as well. So nobody's safe. People die. A lot of people die. And I think that's why I loved it, because it was you didn't know what was going on. It was the Walking Dead version of comic books. Your favorite character could get their head bashed in. Superman could show up and incinerate them. Some random person could kill them. Whole cities leveled. It's a great read. It's good. If you like Shazam, if you like Green Arrow, if you like Constantine, if you like, Batgirl, Batwoman, Catwoman, Superboy, only if you're a Cyborg fan will you just be annoyed unbelievably. But other than that, every other one is good. Aquaman is good because Aquaman's F you guys, I'm not into this anymore. I'm a king. I'm not getting into this mess. And the fact that that's the only person that Superman had to show up to and say look, I know you're not going to join our fight, but I can't have you messing around because you're the only one who can probably beat me. I thought that was a cool also nod to Aquaman. So I don't know if you read Injustice: Gods Among Us, but it's a great read. Definitely recommend. And that was pretty much it.
Uh, you're right. I haven't read it, and the list is getting long and long. I got to get through the New 52, most of what you recommended, and I guess I'm gonna add Injustice to the mix. But this is But I did have some experience with the Injustice run. It seemed that, well, every so often somebody sent me a panel page of something that they found on the internet, and they asked me, is this real? Is this what's going on in DC? Because DC seems to be awesome, and they loved it, and they found it, and they just randomly found it on the internet because it was so fucked up. Every time they send me one, I go like, no, it must be some sort of fan art. I don't know. It doesn't seem like something DC would do. And I spent about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, giving that answer out. And then at some point I said, like, wait a minute, this is not random. Let me just find out what it is. And that's when I found out that the game had its own comic and its own backstory, and that it was doing pretty well. So apparently, yeah, it seems to be offbeat, not your usual DC story. And there is one that did stand out, was the Batman. When Batman took the Joker from, I think it was a beach or something, and he was driving and with the Joker as his prisoner or whatever. And at some point, Joker makes a comment or something. I'm not sure what it was, but Batman just stops, turns, and snaps his neck. And when I read that, I'm like, nah, this is not DC continuity. This did not happen. And that's when I decided to like look it up and found out that there was a run for the games. Now, in that same issue, apparently, Bruce Wayne goes straight to the cops. He turns himself in. He declares himself as guilty. He lets everybody know that he's Bruce Wayne, which is such a Batman thing to do. I mean, it's like, okay, I finally did it. I crossed the line. So since I did that, I'm going to have to suffer the consequences, because if not, I'm going to be a hypocrite. It was mind blowing. And then you see Superman just stand up. Superman is at the prison. He's talking to him through some glass, and he just stands up at some point when he realizes that he did that for him so that he wouldn't have to do it. Because of the whole Lois thing you mentioned before, etc. And he just stands up and starts walking towards the glass and just breaks the wall. But it's not even like he pushes it, punches it, anything. He just walks, and the wall crumbles as he walks through it. Reminding you how powerful this guy is. And then he just hugs Bruce Wayne. Wow. I haven't read it, but that moment alone just lets me know it's actually as good as you say it is. I can't really talk about it much, man. I mean, I wish I could, but if you want to expand it, and I'm willing to listen and let you know what I think about it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a short one. That was like episode maybe 13, 14, or 15. We're on episode 39. It ends in a couple of weeks with chapter 40. What you read, which should be an example of why you should never read a random one without reading the prior ones, or following up on it, for the matter, was actually all a dream induced by Batman on Superman, on a coma, basically, because Superman is basically a tyrant on Earth who's basically kills anybody who stands in his way. And in this induced coma dream, Superman sees what could have happened if Batman finally kills. And I guess the whole ordeal of it is, would that awaken him? into understanding that killing is not a thing.
As good as that sounds, and it sounds like it's really good writing, I kind of wish it were true. I mean, having a universe where Batman just goes ahead and snaps the Joker's neck, and I know they've touched on it before in other comics and stuff, and with the Dark Knight Returns, yeah, Dark Knight Returns and stuff, but still having him do it because it's the one way to save humanity. That was pretty cool, but I don't know. It sounds like it gets better, even if that wasn't the case. Since it wasn't true. I'll read it, man. That's as much as I can say. I'll probably pick it up next month when I'm done with everything else. Let's do this. Maybe once I do read it, we'll continue the conversation properly. How's that sound?
Fine, let's do that. And how about you go ahead and you let me know something that you think I probably haven't read, so that I can go ahead and read it. That way I can catch up as well. And you can send me that separately. It doesn't have to be a voice note. So let's cut this one up. I know it's short, but it'd be pointless to continue. So, guys, if you like this episode, if you like this, obviously hit like, retweet it, re-podcast it, whatever button it is that you're supposed to be clicking to say yes, we like it. And let us know what you think. What would you like us to read, or watch, or listen to? Let us know.